That was a pain. He's like a spoiled kid when things don't go his way. That hand freak really needs to get that stick out of... Oh, finally awake, are you? Good. I was getting tired of waiting. Don't bother with that "where am I" shit. We aren't going to be here for long. After that mess, we're going to need to keep moving. Sorry if the accommodations aren't to your liking, sweetheart. Yeah, I had to restrain you. And pretty damn heavily, too. I know you weren't there to see it, but that little buddy of yours pulled a real stupid stunt as soon as his hands got loose. I'm not taking any chances with you. Be grateful I even let you out. Shigaraki wanted to throw you in a river and leave you there to be buried. He's been having a bitch fit since your little classmates showed up and brought the heroes with them. Not only did we lose that Katsuki bastard, but Shigaraki's precious master as well. Honestly, though, I think you should cheer up a bit. We didn't lose everything. And I'm not just talking about you, sweetheart. You wouldn't know, would you? You were in one of Compress's little traps in my pocket the whole time. His magician fetish is annoying, but that quirk of his has its uses. It let me keep you nice and close. You didn't even know what was happening. Your precious symbol of peace, All Might, is done. He took down Shigaraki's master, but at the cost of his own power. I wish you could have seen him when the battle was over. He looked like a skeleton. I wouldn't trust him to save a cat from a tree, much less you from me. And the other heroes? They're still dealing with the public fallout. They won't be looking for you. You do a great job of hiding that fear on your face. I'm almost impressed. If you think I'm lying, maybe I'll find a video of the fight later and show it to you. If you want to see your symbol of peace crumble so badly. You still have that spark in your eyes, I see. Were you hoping someone from that class of yours would save you then? That loudmouth that ran off with the rescue party your pals threw together? The green-haired one with the glass cannon quirk? Or maybe that pedigree puppet Shoto Todoroki? Don't act so surprised, sweetheart. Endeavor's prized possession. Second place at the UA Sports Festival. With a quirk that turned half the stadium into a glacier in 10 seconds. Trust me, I know plenty about him. Shigaraki wanted to grab him as well, but I convinced him that he wasn't worth the trouble. We couldn't contain a quirk like that, not as we are now. Honestly, with students like that, it's easy to see why the teachers and other students would forget about little old you. You didn't even pass the first trial at the festival, did you? The only one in your class, too. How embarrassing. They didn't forget about you. Sweetheart, if they were able to scrape together the manpower to rescue that hothead Katsuki, picking up a little thing like you shouldn't have been much harder. I know you couldn't tell from inside my pocket, but I don't think they even said your name while they were here. Between the loudmouth and Shigaraki's master, you didn't even cross their minds. You were just too insignificant to them. I could be lying, true. Maybe they tried to save you just as much as they tried to save that loudmouth. Maybe they fought to save you until the last second, when we slipped through their fingers. This could all just be some elaborate story to break your spirit. Still, if I'm such an obvious liar, why do you sound so shaken? If you have so much faith in those precious friends of yours, then what I'm saying now should just be white noise. Unless you feel like what I'm saying might be true. That your friends couldn't even be bothered to remember you as an afterthought. Crying, are you? Seems I struck a nerve. You don't need to try so hard to hide it, you know. I'd wipe those tears for you, but I doubt you want my hands anywhere near you. Of course, that can always change. Why am I telling you this? Because it's the truth. It hurts, but that's the kind of a society heroes have built. I know what your quirk is, and it's far from weak. It's not suited for their precious hero society, though, is it? Not flashy enough, not destructive enough, not heroic enough. Well, I guess the exact reason doesn't matter much in the end. In the end, you'll get shuffled to the side, discarded like a piece of trash, and some shiny new wonder child will take your place. That's the way it is. And that's the way it always is. Why do I care if this happens to you? You caught my eye, sweetheart. I don't normally pay attention to whatever bumper crop of soon-to-be false heroes gets paraded around on TV. But you interested me. Even though you lost in that stupid festival, it wasn't because you were weak. It was an unbalanced competition meant to favor those born with heroic quirks. But even though you didn't have as flashy as a quirk as your classmates, you still looked so driven at the festival. When you were fighting us at the little UA camp retreat, you didn't even back down, even when your back was to the wall, even knowing you couldn't have beaten us. You stood by your beliefs. You weren't afraid to fight tooth and nail. You had conviction, just like the hero killer. And if I'm being honest, the fact that you're pretty easy on the eyes doesn't hurt either. That's why I took you with me. I knew you had some spark. Stain did. Maybe you buried it to try and fit yourself into the same false hero mold as the others, but you can't hide it from me. It's written all over that pretty little face of yours. With enough effort, I know I can turn that spark into a wildfire that'll burn this hero society into ashes. The hero killer had a vision. Now that he's gone, other people need to set up and carry on his legacy. People like me. People like you. You're nothing like me, huh? With an attitude like that, you're already more like me than you think. Still, maybe you need a little persuasion. You've seen what my quirk does. How quickly the flames come and reduce whatever I want to cinders. All I'd have to do is just put my hand here, right on your cheek. I'd burn you so quickly that it probably wouldn't even hurt. Not at first, anyway. But it would leave a nasty scar, and then you and I would be a bit more alike, wouldn't we? And if that wasn't enough, I could do it again. And again, as many times as you made me, until not even those so-called friends of yours would recognize you. Still trying to put up a brave face. That's the conviction I was talking about. I'm giving you a chance here. You and I both know that no one is coming for you. You don't have to stay locked up and waste away. You don't have to hide your spark. You can contribute to a greater cause. This world is rotten. Come with me, and we'll burn it down together. The next kings of evil? What a joke. I swear, every time he opens his mouth, something dumber comes out of it. It'd be impressive if it wasn't such a pain in the ass. Still, I bet you're feeling pretty proud of yourself, sweetheart. Your first big mission under the League. It was different from what you and I have been doing, wasn't it? Picking off sidekicks in alleys is one thing. Fighting cops and heroes on the freeway is another. But maybe you like the challenge. Hey, I'm talking to you. If you're waiting for a pat on the back and a gold star, don't bother. You didn't do a bad job, but you could have done a hell of a lot better. This isn't UA. I don't give out participation trophies. What? You mad at me for killing that sand hero? You should know how this works by now. Anyone who stands in our way has to be eliminated. They aren't just standing against us, they're standing against a better future. Their families. You shouldn't pay so much attention to what the heroes say, sweetheart. You know it's all bullshit. Do you really think that bastard gave a rat's ass about the family of the people we've killed? Besides, what about the families whose loved ones died because their precious heroes were too busy posing and going after flashy targets? I don't see you crying over them. That's not the only thing. What else happened? The mission was a success. We got whatever miracle drug Shigaraki wanted. We crossed one more hero off the list, and we made sure that Shisaki bastard can't. You're kidding me. You're upset because Shigaraki took his hands. And you were gonna become a hero with a stomach like that. That's adorable. I didn't realize you were such a softie. Too far? It's better than he deserved. You heard about what he did to Magna, and you saw what he did to Compress's arm. As destructive as my quirk is, at least there's something left to bury when I'm done. The only thing this guy left behind was whatever you could scrape off the walls. Or whatever you coughed up, if you were standing too close to the splash zone. Not to mention all the shit he pulled in his little wannabe Yakuza. So what if the police had him? With a quirk like his, he would have escaped eventually. And even if he hadn't, prison's mercy for trash like him. Stain would have slit his throat. I think we should have just killed him. But Shigaraki was real caught up on leaving him alive. Something about teaching him his place or whatever. You know what a freak he is for theatrical shit. How is this any worse than what you and I have been doing? Sidekicks, heroes, or scum like Chisaki. They're all trash. Worse than trash. It's our responsibility to keep them from making this world any filthier. Whether that means killing them, or making it so they can never use their quirk again. You can't do this anymore. Don't be stupid. Killing sidekicks is fine, but one villain gets crippled and suddenly you want to go crying back to your little school. Or is it what that hero said? You're going to let yourself be swayed so easily? Sure, you never wanted to kill anyone. You could have fooled me, sweetheart. Don't you remember the first sidekick we took down together? Sure, I burned what was left of her to make a point, but you're the one that killed her. And yeah, you got sick after, but your eyes, I saw it. That spark. You knew what you were doing was right. That's why you kept doing it. That's why you didn't worry about their families. I'm not going to shut up. You aren't backing out now. Do you really think you can go back to your old life? There's blood on your hands, sweetheart, and it's never coming off. Your precious heroes would never take you back. And right now, you seem awfully worried about what they think of you. If you know that, then what are you going to do? Turn yourself in? Bullshit. You'd rather rot in prison than stay here. I overestimated you. I really thought you learned. Guess I was too nice for my own good. Cutting it close there, sweetheart. Did I send you? Better sharpen those reflexes, or the next one will do more than that. What? You thought I was going to let you walk out of here? Or maybe that you could fight me and escape? I'm not sure which is dumber. So you are gonna fight me. That's your funeral. Just because we've been training together doesn't mean you have an advantage. I was holding back, sweetheart. I don't do that a lot, but it's harder to train when you're covered in burns. Trust me. If anything, I have the advantage against you. You always gave your all during training, which means I know all of your tricks. I know how your quirk works, and I know that you don't watch your left side well enough. See, you're nothing compared to me. You can get up all you want, sweetheart, but unless I want you up, I'll kick you right back down. You know that I can use my quirk from any part of my body, including my foot. So unless you want me to melt a hole in your skull, shut up and listen. If Shigaraki were here, he'd have me torch you. Or he'd just grab your neck and kill you himself. The League doesn't take well to traitors. But the League doesn't have to know about this. I want you to understand something, sweetheart. Right now, you're the luckiest person alive. If you were anyone else, I would have cooked you and left your body for the police to find. But since I have a little soft spot for you, I'm going to give you one last chance. You have two options. You stay with me, with us, and keep fighting against this false hero society. You keep building that spark and stop being such a child. Or I put you down right here, right now. Maybe send what's left of you to your old buddies at UA. Assuming they still care enough about you to bury it. What's it gonna be, sweetheart? Is your stupid little tantrum really worth burning alive? Finally making a smart decision. Good. I don't normally give second chances, so be grateful. Now get up. Seriously, you're lucky you interest me. I wouldn't deal with this emotional bullshit for anyone else. But interesting or not, you aren't going to try something like this again. Oh, you don't need to shake your head like that, sweetheart. I know you won't. Because I'm going to give you a permanent reminder. Don't back away like that. I'm not going to cripple you, or mess up that pretty face. I'm just gonna give you something to remember this lesson by. I'll even be nice and make sure it's somewhere you can cover up in public. It'll be our little secret. Sorry isn't gonna cut it. Anyone can say sorry. It doesn't mean anything. The only way I know you'll be sorry is if I make you sorry. You aren't subtle, sweetheart. I see you looking at the door. Honestly, I just finished proving that you couldn't run from me. I know you've been making some stupid decisions lately, but that's just pathetic. If you try and run for the door, I'll blast you. And if I do that, I can't guarantee there'll be anything left. You aren't getting out of this. Now are you going to come here and take this like grown up? Or are you going to make me hold you down? There's that spark again. Glad to see you're taking this on the chin. Doesn't mean I'll go any easier on you. But maybe I'll kiss it better once I'm done. Now turn around and get your shirt off so I can pick a spot. Really? This is where you're gonna be stubborn? Fine. Shut your mouth and turn around. You're the one that made me do it. It barely singed you. I'm sure twice can make you a new shirt. So quit whining. It's annoying. That's better. Let's see. Right between your shoulder blades should be just fine. It can be that pat on the back you wanted so much, even if you can't see it. You'll feel it every time you lie down until it heals, and it'll take a while to heal. I promise. Now hold still, or this is gonna be a lot worse than it needs to be. I'll give you this. You held back that scream pretty well. Nice to see that you can handle a bit of punishment. I wonder, maybe that means you haven't learned your lesson. Should I burn you somewhere else? There it is. You're stubborn, sweetheart. But even you can't put up a brave face forever. Never thought I'd hear you say please like that, though. It's funny. Remember what you said when we first met? How you weren't anything like me. Looks like that isn't so true anymore. This is going to scar just like mine when it's done healing. You're changed now, sweetheart. I've changed you. Oh, I almost forgot. I did say I'd kiss it better, and you took that so well. Oh, did that hurt? You're shaking. Poor little thing. Maybe next time you get cold feet about our mission, you'll remember how this felt. Imagine how much it would hurt if I burned you somewhere else. Your stomach, your chest, or maybe your mouth. You don't like that? Then don't give me a reason to do it. Come on, we'll get someone to patch you up. That psycho Toga probably won't mind. We can tell her it was training or something. I'll leave the details to you. But remember, sweetheart, try to leave me again, and I won't be so nice.